Are you feeling unfulfilled, unsatisfied, and like you're stuck in a Groundhog Day of mediocrity that is crushing you into the ground? Do you feel like you were born for more? You were meant to achieve more, and you have this deep internal desire to just break out and live an entirely different life? Or maybe you're already on the path to achieving your greatest, biggest, grandest goals, but there's some part of you that is just holding you back. You feel stuck and you don't feel like you are fully aligned with who you were born to be and what you were born to do here on this planet. Then stick around, because I have a 4-step formula that is going to show you how you can monetize your genius and live a life of fulfillment, of freedom, of impact and satisfaction in a way that feeds your soul and lights you up from the inside out. So the first part of this formula is getting absolutely crystal clear on what it is that you want to achieve, on your mission, your purpose, your vision for the future. And I want you to suspend disbelief and think big. This vision can be as big as you want it to be. So there are no limits on what you can achieve. Now, if it's to create a $1 billion impact and a $1 billion business, then you need to give yourself a reasonable amount of time to be able to do that. Give yourself at least 10 years. If you are stuck in a 6-figure business at the moment, wanting to scale, and you want to achieve $1 billion, then you're not going to be able to achieve it within the next 6 months or 12 months. Well, it's highly unlikely. As much as anything is possible, it's highly unlikely that that's going to happen. So give yourself 5 to 10 years to be able to achieve this great big vision of yours. And this vision needs to be soul aligned with who you truly are. So know thyself. Socrates, pure genius, this guy. And once you know who you are and what you stand for, what your passions are, then you will be able to identify what this vision is that is going to light up your soul and drive you forward to being the best and most powerful version of you to achieve this incredible vision and goal. Now, a lot of people say, but I don't know what I want. Yeah, okay, I'm going to challenge that conception and that perception that you have, because you can figure out what it is that you want, what that big vision is, by looking at where you are in your life right now and what is not satisfactory to you. What have you experienced in the past that you have gone, yeah, okay, I don't want to do that again. And then you look at, you sift and you sort through, I don't want that, I don't want that, I don't want that. Well, if you know what you don't want, then you can figure out what you do want. What is the opposite of that, or what is the contrast to what you don't want? That is the key to figuring out what you really want. And you know what? Don't get too caught up in it, because as you expand, as you grow on this journey, your vision will grow and expand and solidify and crystallize. So don't get caught too caught in the weeds or too caught in the details. Just start to get some sort of clarity by thinking about what really lights you up and what impact do you want to have in the world? What breaks your heart? All of those things, all of those questions will lead you to more clarity. So the next thing is to identify what your superpowers are. This is your core genius. And these are your gifts, your talents, your unconscious competence, the things that you play at that other people have to work at. So you were born with these gifts and talents for a reason. You were meant to share them with the world. And once you realize what they are, and then you work out how to offer some sort of value to the world through your gifts and talents, everything changes. So if you're not clear on what your gifts and talents are, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Firstly, what kind of things do you do that you just get lost in? So you start to a particular project and you're doing a particular thing, and before you know it, 2, 3, 4 hours have gone past and you're just like, wait, what? Where did the time go? You get in the zone, and it's not a struggle. It's easy. And this is a clear indication that you are doing something that comes really naturally to you. So what are the kinds of things that you do that do come naturally to you, that people compliment you on? So that people might say to you, how come that's so easy? And you're thinking in your head, well, it's easy because it's easy. Like, how is it not easy to you? Because it comes naturally. You don't understand how other people don't have the same acuity for that particular task, or it might be just the way your brain works, the way your brain analyzes and disseminates information. So start thinking about the things that you just do naturally well, that people admire or compliment you on. And then think about the things that you're naturally drawn to. What do you love to read about? What do you love to learn about? What are you passionate about? And then unpack what characteristics and traits you embody that just seem to come easily to you. What did you do as a child that was just naturally easy for you? Some people are natural born athletes. Some people are sort of highly intelligent and their brain works in a specific way. And maybe math was your strength, or maybe science, or maybe English, or maybe art, or maybe even the drama, speech and drama. Like that was one of my strengths, was speech and drama. Or maybe you have some sort of natural artistic talent that came out during some classes at school that you have never really explored since you left school. Because you know what happens when we're at school, right? If you're in the school and education system, then you are indoctrinated into a particular path that says you have to get a good education, then you have to go and get a job, and then you have to get, debt up to your eyeballs, and then you work and work and work and work and work and work and work like a good little worker bee. And then if you're lucky, you might get to enjoy a little bit of time at the end of your life when you've retired. Yeah, it's certainly not my choice for the way I want to live my life, okay? So when you identify these superpowers, and believe me, you have significant amounts of superpowers. It might be the way you communicate with people. It might be it's something to do with children. So you're naturally more gifted at working with kids, or maybe you're naturally more gifted at counseling, or maybe you're maybe gifted with your hands. But identify what that is, because then the third thing you need to do is package it up in a way that assists and helps others to solve a problem. This is your true wealth formula. So your true wealth formula is actually your wealth consciousness plus your soul aligned system equals embodied true wealth. So embodied true wealth is not just about money. It's about fulfillment and satisfaction. It's about feeding your soul. It's about living your best life on your terms. And that is different for everybody. So it's about being healthy and alive and having great relationships and loving yourself and feeling confident. It's about all of those things, right? So when you look at your gifts and talents, how can you then package them up in a way that creates your unique wealth formula, your true embodied wealth formula that helps others, serves others, and then in exchange, they pay you. Now, for instance, if you want to be a billionaire, then you need to solve either a very expensive problem for very rich people, or you need to solve a problem for a lot of people. So in the marketing world and in the business world, they call this identifying your niche. And your niche needs to be an inch wide and a mile deep, which means it's a very specific problem for a specific person. You achieve the result in a specific way, and there are a lot of people who want that result. Now, if you want to have a 6-figure business or a 7-figure business, you still need a lot of people who are going to buy whatever it is that you're selling, that you're offering. And you want to be able to package this up in a way that you can articulate. This is your soul aligned system, okay? So that it articulates the problem to your customer or client. It then articulates how you have the right solution to that problem, and then you have an offer that is communicated in such a way that your perfect customer or client cannot wait to give you their money, their cash or their credit card or their debit card or whatever it is, or transfer the money into your account. So this is how you get from where you are to where you want to be financially, and to live your best life and to monetize your genius. So now the fourth step is to create an efficient and effective plan of action, your strategic action plan that helps you get from where you are right now to where you want to be as fast as possible. And that just takes skill. If there's something that you don't know, then you can learn it. If there's a skill that you don't have, then you can start to perfect it and master it. It is simply the repetition. The more reps you get, the better you get at it. And in the beginning, you will feel terribly uncomfortable. You will be so far out of your comfort zone. It's important to get out of your comfort zone. I had a coach once who said, anything worth doing is worth doing badly in the beginning. So say, for instance, you want to start to play a musical instrument. Unless you're some child prodigy and you have a natural gift and talent for playing this particular instrument, are you going to sound really good when you first start playing and this beautiful music's just going to come out of the instrument? Hell no. When you first start, you don't have the neurological pathways that have been developed to play this instrument. So it's going to be super uncomfortable. It's going to sound like crap. And you have to work your way through the friction of feeling uncomfortable and judgmental to be able to get to the point where you're starting to develop a certain level of competence. So you will start at a low level of competence, and then you will eventually, if you do the repetition, if you practice and practice and practice, this is why musicians practice thousands of hours to be able to master their craft, because ultimately it becomes an unconscious competence. If you watch a really gifted, skilled artist who has put in the repetition and the hours perfecting their craft, they get lost in the music, because they have played that piece of music over and over and over and over and over until it becomes an unconscious competence. And then the neural pathways are so well developed that their fingers just know where to go on the instrument, and it is solidified in the brain that it just happens like on automatic. It's incredible. And it's incredible feeling when you get in that zone, but it doesn't feel like that in the beginning. So pushing your comfort zone is causes this friction, and it does feel uncomfortable. So you've got to get comfortable feeling uncomfortable. So this strategic action plan that you put together, it doesn't need to be a really detailed plan. It just needs to have a framework that you can work to. And you can, if you have this big vision, this big goal, this big dream, what you do is you create goals for yourself. You chunk down the big vision into, like if you have a 10-year vision, then you chunk it down into smaller time frames that you want to achieve a particular part of that vision. And then what you want to do is take consistent, aligned, inspired action every single day that just helps you to make progress. So what I recommend with your goal setting is that you don't set outcome goals. You've got the outcome, which is the vision, and then you've got the smaller goals that are outcome goals that are maybe a 3-month goal or 1 week goal even. So you do have the outcome goals. However, what I really want you to do is get serious about your activity goals. So you look at what the goal is, whether it's the short-term or the long-term goal, and you think, okay, what is the most efficient and effective way to get there? What are the actions that I need to take? And then you set your expectations around your activity goals, not the outcome goals, because you're more likely to get disappointed if you do not achieve the outcome that you want. But if you have activity goals and you reward yourself for actually taking the action and to doing the activity goals, then it's a much more rewarding experience and you are more likely to stay the course. If you set an outcome goal and you don't reach it and you don't reach it and you don't achieve it and you don't achieve it, which could happen, then you're going to get so disappointed. You're going to build this belief that's like, no, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I'm not capable, it's too hard, yada, yada. You're going to give up. This is what happens for most people. So set yourself up for success by doing this right. Now, if this really resonates with you and you've enjoyed this, then please like and subscribe and comment below. But you also, I can send you my soul aligned business blueprint, which will help you with getting the clarity, with putting your plans in place, with understanding your genius. All you need to do to get the blueprint is type blueprint in the comments below, and I will send you the link to download this incredible PDF, which will help you to craft and monetize your genius and get you from where you are to where you want to be, to live life on your terms and to create a life of freedom, abundance, wealth, and passion while you achieve your vision and have the impact that you want to have. So just type Soul Aligned Business Blueprint in the comments below. And then when you download it, make sure that you work through it because it is an absolute game changer. So I love you loads. Go all in, back yourself, get clear on your vision, go through the 4 steps that I've shared with you today. And I look forward to seeing you in another video very soon. Ciao for now.